All right, everybody, we'll start with Audrey Stoner at The Athletic.
Hey, Phil, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. If the season were to start tomorrow, who would be your front five? How have things kind of shook out so far?
Oh, man. That's a good question. I think right now I really can't give you that because I think, for us, I'm still trying to find, the best five. But what I can say is, we have, I feel right now, 10 guys I can go into that game with. And I think that's a great thing to have because having depth is key to an offensive line. So going into that, that's probably the most I can say just because, I want to make sure these guys understand that it's all competition, that no one's job is guaranteed and that the best five is going to play. And that's why, I know Miranda, the one thing he said was a lot of guys are playing different positions. And that's why I do that. Not only am I doing it to make sure I get the best five, but I'm also doing it because I want to get them, ready to be able to be versatile. Because being versatile, like you saw Will Fries last year, you probably went to that season and said, Will Fries won't play guard. But well, look what happened. I got him to play guard, and he actually played pretty well. It ended up being second team all Big Ten. Was the reason why he left because a lot of scouts liked the way he played guard. And now he's more versatile. And now a lot of offensive line coaches are calling me and saying that was the best decision because now we can see that he can play guard and also tackle. So that's what, I'm going to do and I'm going to keep doing. But what you're going to see versus Wisconsin is the best five that go out there. And then during that game, I'm going to play guys that are ready. And you might see 10 guys out on that field when it's all said and done. And you're going to see us be 1-0.
Mark Brennan, followed by Tyler Donahue.
Hey, Phil, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Can you talk about the progress that you guys have made as a line this spring and maybe put that against a backdrop of what happened last year when you come in as a new guy with the new unit and we're unable to have spring ball? Looks like your light went out, but I kept talking to cover you there. Thanks.
Yeah. I just feel like, these spring practices are very key for an offensive line. Being in pads, going out, having individual, having inside run, having team periods, having 2-minute, Coach Franklin giving us all different situations, being able to put on pads and just being able to get momentum into the summer is key to an offensive line. And to be able to get these practices and be able to come off the ball and be able to, and this is also great, recruiting tip that we use is, every day we're going against the best defensive line in my mind in the Big Ten. So our line is being able to go against the best, D line in the Big Ten and do it in pads, do it, sometimes backed up in bad situations, 2-minute today. So, in situations that we have to be able to, be great, technique is always going to bring you home. And, doing 2-minute at the end of practice when you're tired, that's key to mental toughness, which we talked about as a team today. So, spring ball is 100% needed for the growth and development, and not only the growth and development of the young guys, the young guys that don't get much reps in training camp. So this is key. This is key for us as, we grow.
Tyler Donahue, followed by Greg Pickle.
Hey, Phil, hope you're doing well.
Thank you. I am.
Good. I wanted to bring up two guys here, if I could. Rasheed Walker being one. He's a guy that Franklin has really raved about when we got opportunities to say. It seems like his best, most complete performance on the practice field. And then Juice Scruggs, a guy who really came on late last year. We haven't had a chance to really ask you about him since he got that playing time.
Yeah, I'll start with Rasheed. Rasheed's, doing a heck of a job. He came back with the mindset that he wants to be a first rounder and he wants to lead his team to a national championship, a Big Ten championship. He wants to be all Big Ten. So he has goals, which I know you guys, and he said to you guys, and every day, it's my job as a coach to make sure that he's on track to do that. And, he's come out every spring practice and went out there and tried to work on something. And he tried to make sure that, he works on the no talent things, his effort, his technique, his fundamentals, because he wants you guys to watch him and say, he's a consistent left tackle that can play a long time in NFL. And that's his goal. And that's what he's striving to do every day. And it's my job as a coach to show him that way. And, he's coachable, which is great. He takes coaching, and me and him have a great relationship. And, he's an awesome kid that's, growing and getting better every day. Juice, I love Juice because of what he went through. I wasn't here when that happened, with the accident, but he's come out every day. And, I use him as an example because, he could easily have, football could have been taken away from him. And he saw that. And now every day he works to make sure he capitalizes opportunity to play the game that he loves. And that's the mentality that he has. And that's why he's gonna do big things here, and he's gonna do it with hard work, effort, and sacrifice. So I love Juice, and he's doing a heck of a job. And last year we gave him those opportunities and he took them.
Greg Pickle, Penn Live, new bias, you're on deck.
Hey, good evening, Coach. I think you may have had a chance to host some of your offered guys, maybe not. I know it was kind of when you got here was an interesting time, but either way, what will it mean to be able to do that again, presumably in June? And how important is that to your personal recruiting pitch and the programs overall?
Yeah. It's always good to have the guys that you offer, or guys that, you're recruiting, to be on campus and be able to be around you. And be able to, doing Zoom, it's hard to really get connect. It's hard to FaceTime and show them my family as, they come to the official visit weekends. They're around my family. They get to meet my family. And I think that's a big key to me because, family is something that I sell to recruits, the family atmosphere. And just being around me and being able to see me coach, a lot of guys haven't been able to see me coach. And, I think that hurts a little bit because, they see how I am to them. They see that I've been in their shoes. I know exactly what they're going through, and I relate to the players and I relate to them. So they kind of get it on the phone, but when you see it in person, I feel like that's how, I was able to, get some really good guys or get the guys that I want. And then also, talk about, but camp is really big for me. Being able to work with them, being able to see them, being able to put them through drills. So having that is going to be key for me, as we go through June and July. And there might be guys that you don't even know about that I offer because I was able to work with them at camp, because that's big for me.
We got time for a few more questions. New bias, Wilborn, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. T. Frank, you're on deck.
Earlier, James mentioned your time as a player being influential to your coaching. Can you further elaborate on how your playing career impacted who you are as a coach today?
Yeah. About me, I'm from New Jersey. And I wasn't very highly recruited. I always say it, I would have came to Penn State if they offered me. So that's what kind of player I was. I was a northern kid. And for me, I went to Florida, and, when I got there, the coaches, my freshman year got fired. Then a coach came in that you guys know very well. And he came in and actually didn't think I was good enough to play there. And, but I knew I was. And so I always worked, and I outworked everyone. And I used all the no talent things that no one else wanted to do. I worked extra hard. I watched extra film. I knew the offense better than anybody, and I capitalized my opportunity. And for the players, I know exactly what they're going through. They're freshmen, they're sophomores. They've been, I've been a backup. I've been a starter. I've been third team. I've been only on field goal. So I've been, through a lot of the experience that they have. I've been through it. So I know how to get through it. And I just show them what I've been through and how I got through it. and what I did to make sure that I capitalized on my opportunity. Because I shouldn't have played in the NFL, and I was able to play 5 years. I probably shouldn't have started at University of Florida, but ended up starting 2 years and being all big, all SEC twice and all American. But I did that because of the way I worked every day. And I know that that's what makes an offensive line great. So my job is to show them that. So I relate to them, and I show them, and I do it with them. I send them my notes. I show them how I write. I show them how I do things, how I did it. And if they do it and they listen, then they'll be like guys that I had in the first rounders that I had, and the guys that weren't barely recruited high, and the no talent things ended up being why they were ended up making it in the NFL. So I just relate to them.
Hey, Phil, I think it's me, T. Frank, BWI. I want to ask you about what you just said there. When you're recruiting a guy, or you have a guy in camp, what are the things that you're looking for, and what are those commonalities that you see in the highly recruited guys and the guys that maybe you offer that people don't expect, that you're targeting in recruits for the offensive line?
Really good question. I'm always looking, like I said, I think that your talent only gets you so far. So I know that if a guy has good feet, right, a guy has really good strength, right, but doesn't really care, doesn't really work, then they're not going to be able to capitalize on that great feet and that great strength. So I need to work with them. I need to put them through drills and see how they learn. See if they take coaching. If I tell them a certain thing that I do they try to do it, or do they try to do their own thing? Do they get better as the camp goes on? Because if I know that, then I know they're able to adapt, and they're able to be coached, and they're coachable. Because offensive line, like I kind of relate it to a golf game. There's so many different parts of it, right? There's your putting, your short game, your drive, your long irons, are all different parts, right? Well, the same thing as an offensive lineman. There's your pass sets, your hand placement, your punch, your feet, your assignment, your alignment, your aiming points. All that takes a lot of work. And I didn't say right there that you had to run a 4.840 and bench 225 30 times, right? You just have to do your job and do it at a high level. And the only way to do that is by doing those little things, and to be able to take coaching, be able to want to be great, because, that's what I look for. And I'll take an undersized guy that, wants to be great, that understands what it takes to gain weight, and, has that mindset to do that. And if he does, then he ends up playing for us, and he ends up getting on the field and doing everything that we ask him to.
Good evening, Phil. Thanks for your time this evening. Wanted to ask you about one of your linemen, Des Holmes. Wondered how you would characterize his progress during the spring, and does his versatility, help with his, playing time?
Yeah. He's a versatile guy. He's able to play guard and tackle. And, that's something that's definitely helpful, just because you can move them anywhere, both sides. And, like I said, you're always able to, rotate guys if something does happen, or, he's, someone else is struggling in the game or whatever. You can always move guys around to make sure that you're always playing your best five. So, he's doing a good job, and he's going to continue to work every day and just keep getting better.